Thanks for joining us live here tonight at the Metropolitan Opera, where Robin Williams' ghost just flew past me, called me fat, and disappeared into thin air. As always, I'm your host, Fred the Albino Gorilla.
And I'm Lance B. Uppercut.
And we are two
Mullets and a microphone. Hey, welcome to the show. This is our first show. I'm Andy.
I'm Scott.
Hey, and we just wanted to let everybody know, hey, thanks for listening.
Yes, thanks, Mrs. Burns.
Hi, Mom. Or one person that's listening. I guess that would be two people. It would be my mom, my wife. Probably, no, okay, she wouldn't listen. Never mind. It's okay. Hi, Mom. How's it going?
Theoretically, too. Practice, it might vary.
And that one creepy guy that lives in the trash can down the street. But
and to all of you out there watching us, stop it. This isn't even a video.
And this is creepy, like to think that you might be watching us because we are all alone in here.
And if you are, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing.
Please make him stop.
No, not going to happen.
Yes, I'm scared. Fine. Anyway, so, like to introduce ourselves. I am Andy.
I'm Scott.
And we are two mullets with one microphone.
And one headset, too, but that's not as catchy.
No, it sounds like.
There's also a bunch of wires and cords, but that's more technical stuff. And we don't want to get into that.
Yeah,
we're not very experienced.
Yeah. And a partial laptop, so.
Just partial. There's keys missing. The screen's bent at a 45-degree angle.
I got it from the guy who lives in the trash can down the street.
Even the Wi-Fi bars are bent.
Can I ask you something? How do you think that guy down in the trash can down the street has Wi-Fi?
Well, it's simple. It's made out of metal. He's got his own foil receptor in the can. He gets high-quality trash.
Oh, all right. Well, that makes sense. Anyway, so we are both writers of various fiction. I write sci-fi and suspense stories.
And I write children's books and some horror adult.
Ooh, that's a good mix.
Not together.
No. No, but I think that's polar opposites.
It's spreading yourself out there.
Although
I have to say that would be an interesting combination, like those old scary stories to tell in the dark.
Oh, yeah.
With the original art, not the crappy remakes. Yeah, that new art just doesn't cut it.
No.
It's an embarrassment. It's sad.
Well, that's because those original art was too scary, and that shit was scary. I'm sorry. That was
good. That made the books. The stories were good on their own, but those pieces sold the books. Well, you remember that stuff.
Yeah. Well, the stories were really nothing but a collection of urban legends.
And they were good. But when you add that art,
I know. Bam. I know. It was good. Please don't punch me again.
Well, listen to what I'm telling you. I'm sorry.
It hurt. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway.
On the topic of writing.
Let me ask you a question, though. So what motivated you to do this?
Well, my brother-in-law held a gun to my head, said he was going to kidnap my stuffed bear if I didn't do this podcast with him. I still have a gun.
What an asshole.
No, I can't say anything bad about him.
Why not? Do you think he's listening?
I know he's listening.
Well, I am the aforementioned asshole in this story, as in most stories.
You get all the lead roles.
That's right. No, I decided, what the hell? We've always said that we should do a show. We should have our own radio show. And seeing as how we live in an area where the radios are rather elitist and who they hire and who they allow to do shows, we thought, what the hell? We'll make our own.
Yes, down with the man.
And also, I think for me I think this is a little bit of going to be a little bit of therapeutic thing for me.
I have a feeling we're going to some scary places, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, very scary. Inside of my head, yeah, that's a place you don't want to go.
Like that Taxi episode with Latka. Thank you for coming to my mind. If I had known you were going to show up, I would have cleaned it first. Good show. I wish I were still
on. That was an old reference, man.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, I wish Andy Kaufman was still alive, but...
Yeah, good show. Good times, good prankster. The original troll.
Huh?
The original troll.
That's right.
Although there were some before him. But you know what I'm saying. Shut up.
Quiet, you. Anyway.
Excuse me. Easy. Must have been that bean I ate.
Is that a plane flying overhead?
What are you flying underneath us?
Is that what it is?
I don't know. It could have been a big truck.
Oh, it might have been the helicopter it's flying. We have a somewhat large wildfire that's about 10 to 15 miles away from us, and BLM is having their helicopters flying over all the time and checking it out. And
got to keep an eye on the winnies till make sure they
That's
don't
right.
overcook.
That's right. No, we wish those guys safe and hope they get it out pretty soon.
Got to be good luck, fellas.
Get it contained pretty well. But anyway, yes, I think a lot of this show, the main reason I wanted to do this show is just kind of a therapeutic. I live in a very high stress environment and need a little brevity every once in a while, a little laughter in my life. So
I told you to keep a picture of me in your wallet. If you want to do it, that'd make you.
No, it's in there.
Oh,
I put it in there the other day.
Well, it's not working if you're not using it.
Well, I do every once in a while. I just get weird looks from people.
It's never stopped me.
That's good.
Did get me thrown in the nuthouse for a little while, but I'm better.
Get weird looks. I'll open the wallet and just sit there and stare at it with this look of.
Now that you mention it, I can see why you'd get. Well, I didn't mean like that.
Or
we warned you this is going to scary places, folks.
People tend to look at you weird when you open your wallet and just laugh uncontrollably. All right.
Maybe they thought you had funny money.
Yes, well, I do.
Well, that's something to laugh at, looking in your wallet and seeing it empty. And also tears of rage.
Look at all that space for all that money I could have, but alas,
I blame
don't.
Dinkelberg. There's an old meme for you. Although I wouldn't say the original meme, but way back to Kilroy, who was a meme before there were memes.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one.
You don't know Kilroy with the little guy peeping over the wall?
Oh, yeah. All right. Now I remember now. I'd like to tell you a little bit about this show. This is just going to be a off-the-wall comedy talk show. A lot of pop culture talk and a lot of talk about what's going on with us, things that interest us or things that piss us off one way or the other.
It's like a bake-off with all your friends if they were nerds, and you didn't really have friends. Like
nerd. I'm your friend.
You are? Well, thank you.
You didn't realize that after the past 10 years I've been hanging out with you?
You took the gun away. That was nice of you.
You took the gun away a long time ago, buddy.
It's phantom pain.
You just didn't realize it was gone.
Hey, when it's pointed at you for that long, jamming in your ribs, you start to feel like an attachment. Sometimes like when you lose an arm and you feel pain in it. Not that I know that because I've only heard. I've never lost an arm. Not mine.
I don't mean to offend the armless.
It's like that Mitch Hedberg joke. Waving at people. That's cocky. How do you know the other guy has 2 arms?
The guy has 3 arms. I said harmless, not armless.
Futurama. Show canceled several times before its prime.
Way before its time. And yet,
The Simpsons.
You know what? No. I still think The Simpsons are funny. I still think that
they've come down though. I mean, they've fluctuated, but
yeah,
they're just
they have, but it's still good. I think it's still got some good stories to it. I mean, I'm talking about some of these other ones that just have gone on forever.
Example?
No, off the top of my head, this is friggin' American Dad.
Oh, that's still funny.
Oh, it's Family Guy.
They have some funny stories.
It's Family Guy.
No, it's different.
It's almost the exact same. And instead of the talking baby,
they're similar, but they are different. I mean, come on. One of the best jokes in this series is when the guy's wife, Francine, was homecoming queen. So when they have their school reunion, they go back to recount the votes for some reason I don't remember, and I find out this other woman was a homecoming queen. Well, Stan becomes obsessed with going with her, so to embarrass her, they pull a scene from Carrie. Well, they set it up, and then they dump a bucket of pigs on her. And one of the guys that's in on it says, "What the hell? You dumped a bucket of pigs on her?" He's like, "Yeah, I didn't even finish the book." He's like, "That wasn't even the full sentence." See, you're laughing now. That's a funny joke. That's
pretty good.
See, but there are similarities, but it's different.
It's still not as good as Futurama ever was.
I have to admit,
Family Guy's the same way. You can't. No, there are very few shows that could hold a candle to Futurama.
And then there's Rick and Morty.
You know what? I finally watched an episode of Rick and Morty the other day, and it was pretty good.
Which episode was
it? It was the one where they did the Needful Things ripoff. I was like, of course I wouldn't get the multiple dimensions mindfuck episodes that I love so much. I get the You know, but not saying that Needful Things Ripoff is not a good episode because
It was, but it's not one of the top quality episodes. The Purge episode, oh god, that was funny.
see, and that's the thing though is I've only been able to watch it because my daughter has been late at play practice. She is like one of the biggest proofs.
Your daughter? Well, she's only like
I know she's 8, but it's so funny. I've never met a kid in my life before that has gets so offended when there are swear words around. It's hilarious.
especially considering the first time I heard her swear was hilarious. The computer, we were sitting there on the computer, we were watching videos, and the power bumped, and the computer went off, and she looked right up at me as she was 2 years old, and she said, "Damn it!" Oh, that's one of my favorite.
But now it's just like anybody says any bad words around her, and she's like, "Dare you soil my ears in such a fashion?" It is hilarious.
Oh, kids are funny.
Yeah, hilarious.
Maybe that's why they had that show.
But yes, I would like to watch a lot more Rick and Morty. Maybe I should start buying the DVDs and I'll watch them
Oh, it's on in like an
by
hour,
myself.
47 minutes, give or take.
I'm just saying, my kids will be there awake, running around the house.
Stapled into the wall.
Because, excuse me. I am a responsible parent and do not subject my kids to those kind of quality entertainment. I let them stick with SpongeBob.
Oh, see, there's a good episode too. Good topic too. Not SpongeBob, but the parenting. See, Rick and Morty tackled that too.
Yeah.
On the episode where Rick is trying to buy something in an intergalactic pawn shop, and Morty sees this really attractive female doll over in the corner. It's obviously a sex doll. So he asks Rick to buy it for him because it looks cool. And Rick calls him, get up to the counter. He's like, "All right, I'll trade you this for this much and throw in the sex doll for my grandson." And Morty's face, just the look on his mouth, he just gets this little like folded up cat lip. It's hilarious. So he has sex with the doll. It turns out it's capable of having babies.
Shit.
And it's a monster baby who has arms that comes out of its head. And he grows up so fast, like in the span of a few hours. And it's Morty, who's a kid. He's like, what? I don't know how old he is. He's like 12 years old, somewhere in there, maybe younger, trying to raise this monster child. And as he grows up, and all the kid wants to do is he's into violence because that's his race's thing, He wants to kill, he wants to crush, he wants to destroy. And Morty's trying to correct it with happy things. And he's like, no, let's watch war. Let's go outside and kill. And he's like, you can't go outside because it's poison gas. And he's lying to him. And in the end of the episode, the child is fully grown on a talk show. And he's like, my horrible father. He's written a book. And it's a perfect parallel. So subtle yet, I don't know, maybe a little less subtle. I don't know how to describe that. I'm terrible on the spot. Way of raising kids, it's a look at it that's just so accurate. You do your best. You try to do what's best for them. And then there's Einstein's. You can't if you try to judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree.
Yeah.
It's very apt.
Yeah. Well, you try to do it how you think it should be done, and
you just do the best you can, like pretty much everything else in life.
Yeah, that's true. Parenting's been quite a big test for me. I always thought that I was going to be, before I had kids, I was like, should not be even remotely led around impressionable young minds.
And how has that changed since you've had them?
No, I've completely changed how I view certain things. And
in what way? Like, what would you do differently now than you thought you would have done?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, it's just like with that. I mean, with the whole TV aspect of it, my parents didn't have a big handle on what I watched and kind of movies and kind of shows that I watched as a kid. And every once in a while they'd try, and I always thought, what was the point of that? And why all of a sudden now you want to decide what I can and can't, be exposed to. And I always thought that, I'd let my kids, just let them watch whatever they want, because I think I turned out okay. But no, since I had them, it's like, you know what? They want to watch these cartoons. These cartoons are good. They want to watch something else that's not good. No, I'm not going to let them.
But you don't like them watching SpongeBob.
Well, SpongeBob's an idiot, and it's only teaching kids how to be idiots.
I don't think so. I don't think any more than Looney Tunes. And I'll give you this example. SpongeBob is adamant about being a good worker. I mean, and that's a good value for kids, isn't it? I mean, to go to work and he just be on time, just be consistently working.
But if you pay attention, okay,
it's work hard, play hard.
SpongeBob advocates sticking at an entry level position. Like you work your ass off to get there and to stay at an entry level position.
It's pretty much representative of real life in a lot of cases.
Yes, but the only one out of that entire show that has aspirations for bigger things and that tries to make more out of himself than what he, gets shit on constantly, and that is Squidward.
Okay, but here's the thing. Do you want to be stuck doing your job that's miserable, trying to accelerate your position, or do you want to do what he does and be happy in life, wherever you are? Which is more important, being happy or being successful? If you can combine the two, it's great, but that's a rare opportunity.
Yeah, but no, and most of the times, the more successful you are, the happier you get. That's what you should aspire to. You should aspire to not only be the best at what you do and what kind of job you are, but to get as high as you possibly can with.
Really? Because I've read a lot of things where a lot of the higher ups are not happy with it. I mean, they're happy with the money and the power, but the responsibility is a bad thing for them.
Well,
and then there's the thing where a lot of the airline pilots back in the 90s and that, like where someone I know was involved, that they would come in, take over the business, just waste it, sell it, retire with a golden parachute, and then move on to another company and continue the process.
And you know what? That makes them happy.
Being a jerk is making other people miserable.
That's what I'm saying, though,
okay. You want to say that makes them happy. You want to be happy in a position with somebody who does that to you, or do you want to get out of it and still be under that person? I'll take happiness.
I'm not saying that you can't take happiness. What I'm saying, though, is that you should always be aspiring to make yourself better. You should always be aspiring to go as high as you possibly can. Aspire for other things, because you never know what will make you happy. You go and you do this and you get the job, the higher promotion or whatever like that, and it doesn't make you happy, that's fine. And you move back to what made you happy. But at least you had the opportunity, you had the drive to get yourself there in the first place. SpongeBob teaches kids to stick with what you know. And
there have been several episodes where he's wanted to be other things in there, like where he's wanted to work the cash register, where he's wanted to be named the manager, where he values being employee of the month.
Yeah, but 90% of the time he is happy with what he's doing, sticking at one spot.
That's not his fault. Mr. Krabs won't advance him. Mr. Krabs is a cheapskate.
I know. Anyway, SpongeBob is a stupid show. Anyway, I'm not a fan.
Is it any worse than Looney Tunes?
Looney Tunes was good.
Looney Tunes was a bunch of guy chasing a rabbit who always outsmarted him.
No. And that's
getting hit in the head with a bunch of stuff. Come on, that's no worse than any of that stuff. Tom and Jerry and Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
And that shit was funny.
Yeah, it was funny, and so was SpongeBob. And that's what I don't understand. People are also blaming SpongeBob for short attention spans. Looney Tunes episodes were 3 to 5 minutes max.
Yeah.
Okay, and not a constant story.
Well,
they were smaller segments.
I think it was because mainly the reason people say SpongeBob deals with short attention spans is because it moves quicker than what Looney Tunes did. Like the storyline just flies through a lot faster than, you know what I'm saying?
Not really.
No, that's
because I'm thinking there's not a whole lot of story in Looney Tunes. It's just
well, no, there wasn't. But at the same time, though, it seems, and there's a lot of cartoons that are like that nowadays that I've noticed that are like that. I mean, it seems to, and even some movies are like that, to where it seems to go by way faster than it would, than movies and cartoons previously did. Like it seems, for sure. Like it seems fast forwarded.
Well, I've read, where they do that because they have, the commercials to pay for the voice actors and that and production. It keeps cutting it in, so the cartoons that were once 25 minutes or 24 minutes and 23 minutes, then shorter and shorter every year. Yeah. Or every certain amount of time.
But, it's not even that, though. It just seems like you're watching it and they're running it. They're showing it at a faster speed than normal.
At a faster speed.
Like it's fast forward. Like you're watching it, and you watch how do I explain it? You're watching a movie, you got the remote in here, and you have the little fast forward again, and it's the different speeds.
Right.
Like everything is souped up, I guess.
Well, like I said, you got to film more material in a little spot, or you also got to cut a lot, and there's not a lot of substance.
But I was just watching the new Star Trek movie, Star Trek Beyond. It was like that too. It seemed like all of a sudden it started, and bam, you're right in the middle of the main not even the main climax, but I mean there wasn't. It just seemed like you were watching it, and it just was going way too fast.
No, people don't go to action movies for talking.
Well, no, I know that, but there's still action. No, I'm. There's still movies, though, action movies that actually, it's for some reason it seems like they're playing at a faster rate of speed.
Could be. I don't know. I'm not in the biz.
Like, like Doug never seemed that fast.
Well, Doug was back in the time when they had longer run for cartoon time too.
That was a good cartoon.
That was a good cartoon. And then Jim Jenkins sold it to Disney, and he made a lot of bad changes that I cannot stand behind. And this is a source of irritation for me.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I have very fond memories of Doug and just the way he imagined things. He overreacted to things, and yet he's always a super good character. Like everything, he tried to be good and honest in that. I don't see a lot of that in today's shows.
No,
I don't watch a lot of today's shows, admittedly, but it just seems to me missing a lot of the values that.
That's because all of a sudden, like almost every form of entertainment decided to go with the anti-hero. Like a guy who was good and was ended up doing good, but had questionable ways of getting there.
Maybe it just means we're old.
Yeah, we are old, but that's another question. But yeah, I mean, like I've noticed that a lot is that it's, in a lot of movies, it's like let's root for the bad guy. Like, did you ever think that you would live in a world where Norman Bates was the star of his own TV show?
No.
Or that Hannibal Lecter would be the star of his own TV show?
Well, although given all the remakes they've been doing, it's not really that much of a surprise.
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, even the original books, they had him, but they weren't about him. Like he was in it. It wasn't his story. It was the FBI agent that was either working with him or trying to recapture him, their story, not his story. And I've never seen Hannibal, but I can only guess that it's his story.
Here's a story of lovely cannibal.
That's right. Like, I mean,
he was busy eating friends of his.
I'm surprised they haven't made a Joker TV series.
I'm sure they will.
Now, hey, that's copyrighted. If that ends up, this is on record. If that ends up being made,
the IP belongs to DC though.
But the idea,
you can't copyright an idea.
I can decide. I'll decide. I can do whatever I want to. All right.
Decide nothing. Well, after seeing the Mist television series and what they did to that, I'm done. I just can't. It's it might not be bad on its own, but it's not the Mist like the movie or the novella. Did you see it?
I watched one episode so far, and I really didn't.
I mean, it was like they're trying to turn it into the Under the Dome.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's like one I watched is all of a sudden the Mist had supernatural mind fucking powers. Where before in the original story it was just a whole shitload of monsters.
And making Mrs. Carmody with a daughter and her husband and all that. It's just totally.
And it wasn't even Mrs. Carmody. Mrs. Carmody was the one that got ripped off the mall front window in the second episode or the first episode. That was Mrs. Carmody.
Oh, I thought Mrs. Carmody was the one that.
The old lady.
The daughter.
No, the old one in the church.
She may have been another Mrs. Carmody, but I'm sure we'll have to look it up. But I'm pretty sure that was Mrs. Carmody.
Yeah.
Because there was a scene in the supermarket where somebody commented on her parenting ability or something like that, and she told them to go F themselves or something like that.
See,
it was just too different.
I've only seen one episode of it, and I was impressed, and I was really disappointed because I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah, seeing more of those creatures in that.
Yeah, when it's just, and they didn't even have. I don't think they have the main character in it. I can't remember what his name.
David Drayton.
Yeah.
Don't know how I remember that because my memory is usually like Sam Beckett. There's another old reference for you. Do your homework.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't even hear in the one episode that I watched, I didn't even hear his name get brought up at all. It was all,
I don't think it did. I think it was just focusing on everybody else,
yeah,
just
I mean, it was
reimagining, but it still just
pops back and forth from so many different people. But that was
just
that
like
was the whole
many.
point of the story. It was just like, it was one
Yep.
guy's fight through, to keep his son safe throughout this whole
Mhm.
horrible experience. And it's like they kind of did the same thing with Under the Dome when they made that new TV series. They brought up a whole bunch of different. They changed a lot of it, but that was still
At least it was closer to the book.
yeah, and it was a good series. It was it was well acted. I wasn't impressed with the actors in The Mist, and I especially wasn't impressed with the special effects. That was, I mean,
Maybe it'll get better.
and they had computer generated mist, which does not look good. I'm sorry. This is a note to Hollywood right now. Okay, CGI does not solve everything. You cannot use CGI for everything.
Brought back to
It looks good sometimes in the right way to do it, but if you do it too much, it does not look good at all.
Well, there goes the plans for my movie.
And
Thanks.
well, perfect example of that, of who learned that, was the guys who made Star Wars. Prequels were all CGI.
And then we done messed up, so we're going back to puppets.
Exactly. And the newer ones, it's back to puppets and models and some CGI.
I'm gonna say it's amazing how long the visual effects held up in our cameras. I think it's special effects and models and that held up. They really held up for a long time.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing though, is that like if you watch the original trilogy from the 70s and 80s, it looks better than the prequels do. Like I'm sorry, I watched freaking.
He's a liar, ladies and gentlemen.
I watched the prequels a few months ago on a TV at Walmart because they were on. I just happened to be walking by and I stopped and looked, and it does not, like, the special effects in the prequels do not hold up whatsoever.
No.
But the special effects in the original trilogy still look good. It still looks real.
Oh, that's what something I was reading the other day, that Pirates, it was a couple of years ago, released the original trilogy that totally unedited. Not those kind of pirates. Or focus on the screen.
Yar. You bilge rats.
You're not a bilge rat. You're the bilge rat.
But yeah, keep that model up. No, but I don't know. But they learned it because the new episode 7 had the models, had the puppets, had everything, and they integrated both because they realized that if 90%, and that's another thing that I don't get, is that how you can call your movie a live action movie when 99% of it's CG.
When the people are live.
When 99% of your movie is CG, it's a fucking cartoon.
They were live people.
It's like, it doesn't matter live people.
All you need is 1% to call it live. And that's it.
No, I don't like that.
You don't like it, but you don't have to.
It's a fucking cartoon, man.
Well, what about Roger
You are an animated film. And hey, I always considered Roger Rabbit a cartoon. I think everybody considered Roger Rabbit.
But there were people in there.
Yeah, but they still considered it a cartoon because most of it was cartoons.
Most of it. See, there's a difference.
But it's not like
it's all CGI though.
Well, it's not like frickin' Avatar, where everything was CG, save for like 1 or 2 people. And then even then, they weren't even live actors. They weren't even live actors most of the time. It was most of these guys in the,
were they meat puppets?
No, it was their CG alien counterparts.
But they were human.
Huh?
They were human. They just had the things laid over them.
It's a cartoon, man. Come on.
Reginald, I disagree.
Disagree all you want to.
And I will.
But fact of the matter is, you're using too much CG. All right? There, I've said it.
CGI. You don't like it.
No, I like it. I think it's, they use it. Some movies use it well, but like I said, there seems to be an overuse of CG. Like The Perfect One. Have you ever seen that? Have you watched that? Ever seen that video of the making of The Hobbit?
I have not watched it.
Where Ian McKellen just is sitting at the table It's during the dwarf scene, like where all the dwarfs come and eat at the beginning of the movie. They get the whole mission or quest idea going down. There's a behind the scenes footage that was leaked where it was Ian McKellen in his Gandalf costume sitting around at a completely empty green table. With green screen table, green screen random, everything like that. And he just breaks down and starts crying, said, "This is not what I became an actor for." Because he apparently spent 90% of that movie just by himself, acting by himself on a green screen.
Well, it's a real test of his skill.
I'm not saying it's not, but when you have it like that, when nobody wants to, the actors don't want to work because.
Yes, carry on.
Why are you defending this? I never understood that.
Well, it keeps the conversation going. Just curious. I like differing viewpoints.
Yeah, well, how do you feel about it, though?
Doesn't bother me as long as it's entertaining. I mean,
yeah, but
I obviously like the looks of the original Star Wars where they use the puppets, sets, and models.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's good and entertaining, I mean, it's going to fade out eventually, but maybe that's just something from playing video games all the years. It eventually looks, it's once cutting edge technology and then it fades out later on.
Yeah, but at the same time, as if they don't do it right, it's distracting. Like to me, it pulls you out of a movie when I sit there and go, okay, well, that's CG, that's CG. I mean, I.
So you can suspend your belief enough to imagine guys with big feet that are furry running around.
Yes.
But you can't accept real life computer gen. And I'm the unreasonable one, ladies and gentlemen. I am the monster.
You're a monster.
I'm not the monster who you are.
But yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. I think they use it a little too much for my taste, but I guess that's why they do what they do and they're where they're at, and I'm stuck in this town.
So we need some more CGI from this podcast. Good thinking.
That's a good point. Let's do some CGI.
But that's audio. That's not how you win.
Pew 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 pew.
Sure, what a shot that guy is. More future.
He's so handsome.
Yeah. But is he?
I don't know though. You watched a movie that was just really you got really into, and then all of a sudden they had this one moment of bad CGI, and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm sure there have been movies like that. Nothing comes to mind off the top of my head.
Like a big one for me too, as I remember, is I can't remember exactly which one, but there's one of the X-Men movies where I think it might be Wolverine Origins, where it's just like his blades come out and they're just so they almost look like Last Starfighter level of computer graphics coming out of his hands. It was just like, oh man, that wasn't good. Of course, I don't know.
No, the only thing I would have changed about that movie was Deadpool. That iteration of Deadpool was not Deadpool.
Yeah, no, it was.
I don't know what happened in there that they thought that would be a good idea. Maybe they were running short of money and time.
I just think it was going, hey, let's take a character that is really popular, that everybody loves, and just completely fuck them over for the sake of our one character who, I cannot understand the appeal of Wolverine. I've never, ever, ever understood why people like Wolverine so much.
Because he's awesome. Claws, the healing. He's a tank.
Oh, it's just
he's an anti-hero.
Wow, he stabs people with knives. And see, that's another thing. Fucking, you just said it. Anti-hero.
That's been around long before.
I know, but all of a sudden it's been around for a while, but at the same time, it just seems like lately it's just everything's taken a switch where almost everything.
But you don't have a problem with it for Deadpool. Deadpool came out way after Wolverine.
No, I never say that I like Deadpool because it's funny. Okay, Deadpool was fucking hilarious. Okay, if he wasn't funny, no, you wouldn't be as good of a character as he is. I mean, basically, Deadpool is Wolverine with a sense of humor.
No, Deadpool is Deathstroke. Is it Deathstroke?
No, he's a ripoff of Deathstroke.
Yeah, he's Deathstroke with humor.
But no, he's Wolverine with a sense of humor because he has the same healing power as Wolverine, the same rage. Maybe not the same rage, but his story. I mean, basically,
okay, he's a combination of the
story.
two.
But I mean, his look was based off of Deathstroke.
And his name.
Yeah.
The assassin.
But
maybe he's a combination of the two. A little bit's thrown in.
But I don't.
Deadpool's too.
I mean, I don't think that. I don't think that they originally, when they went to write Deadpool, that they had to think we're just gonna make him Wolverine with a sense of humor. But that's what he turned out to be. I mean, they almost gave him the same powers as Wolverine, but he's got a sense of humor. But I didn't just.
There's Rob Liefeld. Who knows what he was thinking? He couldn't trace it, so
that's right.
It's hard to trace movies.
But at
it's very painful on your wrist.
But at the same time, is that most of the comic book characters anyway are just rip-offs of each other
to an extent, I suppose. I mean, you got Batman based off of Zorro and based off of the Scarlet Pimpernel.
And then you've got the Hulk, which is the same as Solomon Grundy. You know, what else? I hadn't seen that. This whole big old list where they had DC in there. You got Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate, Deadpool, Deathstroke. What else is in there?
I don't know.
Well, you should know. You should be more.
You're the one who read the article.
You should come more prepared for this, man. What the hell?
You're right. It's absolutely your fault.
Well, let's see here.
I don't know. Probably bored our audience to tears by this point, especially your mom.
I don't know. Well, she'll still listen because she's nice.
Just put it on as background noise.
That's right.
She's This has been a listener emergency test.
Oh my hell! What the hell are we doing?
I know what you're doing.
Oh, let's get that edited out. Anyway, all right. So we want to
notice a little wavy bar section where you farted. It's kind of like it just went flat. There's some CGI for you.
Take that, fuckers.
Visual representation of a fart. Oh, you broke me, man.
Oh.
If you can do that, ladies and gentlemen, try it out.
That's right.
God, that's great.
So what,
were you going to ask me?
Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you. We wanted to do a new segment on this show.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
I found this guy, okay, that he came up to me one day and was telling me about all these life hacks that he has. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got sounded good ideas to me. So
you actually listened to his ideas and you liked them?
Yeah, I thought they were pretty. I thought they were pretty good. Well, for what he told me, you know,
bring him in.
In general. All right, so this is a good start. Our first segment of Wally's life hacks. Hey, Wally, come on in here.
Hi guys, how you doing today?
Good, Wally.
Be here. Yes, nice to meet you. I'm Wally.
Hey, yes, Wally. I know.
Hi. How you doing, Wally? Gotta settle down. Hi. Oh yeah, it's his first time on radio.
I know.
Do I need makeup?
No. No. You're good.
Okay. Nobody going to see this.
No, nobody can see you.
Okay, because I don't want them to see my rocket underpants.
I know you're fine. Nobody can see that except for me, which I really wish you would have gotten dressed.
Hot crap and a hook and the nail. So
yeah,
you have to fix that door.
No,
I maybe I have hack for that later. It's coming good.
All right. I just really wish you would have wore pants to this, Wally.
Yeah, so, Wally. But let's get on to the hack, okay? We don't want to get any more of your precious time, okay, Wally?
Yes. Well, we know you're busy, so.
Okay, this good idea. Today, I teach you how to. You go to work, yes?
Yes.
And you eat lunch. You can go out for lunch, right?
Yes.
You have sandwich.
Sometimes.
You have lettuce on sandwich.
A what?
Lettuce. Green.
Yes.
And tomato and cheese. You put them all together before you eat.
Yeah.
Oh, how your sandwich tastes? It's soggy.
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. If you want to keep sandwich nice and crisp, you take Wally Hack. Okay, you take first the piece of bread and you put it on piece of balsa wood on top. And then you put the lettuce and the cheese and the tomato with it separated by another layer of balsa wood. You keep your sandwich nice, you keep your sandwich crisp, and you get full fiber in diet.
Wait, no. You can't eat balsa wood.
Wally do it all the time.
No, you break and you have no teeth left.
I have teeth that on my jaw. What's the matter with this? Why you not like Wally teeth?
You broke it. No,
I show you I have teeth. No, you don't believe me.
No, we're not going to tell people to eat balsa wood put balsa wood in a sandwich. First of all, it doesn't taste very well. Second of all,
That's why you season it with pepper.
No, it's not
A
good.
little bit of pepper, a little lemon.
No,
it's good.
No, okay. You know what? This is
Yeah, thanks for coming.
All right, Wally, get out of here.
But you bring me on show for tip. I tell you, you liked them before.
Well, they were good before.
But why you not like them now?
Because we're not going to tell people to put balsa wood in their sandwiches.
Okay, you're upset today. Maybe you have a bad day. Well, I'll come back later. When you're happy,
we'll try.
It's okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, Wally. Bye. We'll see you later. Okay.
You know what? I think that's about enough for the day.
Yeah,
Wally
is interesting.
Should we have him back on here? I know.
I don't know. Well, hopefully, maybe this was an off day. Because honestly,
that's funny. You're starting to sound like Wally now.
The ideas that he had, when he came to me with all this stuff, they were really good.
What happened to us? Maybe some of those teeth he's missing infected his brain. I don't know. That it just kind of blew my mind. I'm done.
Abscess in his brain. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. Go ahead and visit our website at, we'll figure out what the website's called later. And I just want to have you check out my sci-fi novel, The Farthest Man from Home, available at lulu.com. Just go ahead and put the title up in the search box up there, take you right to it. That's The Farthest Man from Home. Excellent, epic sci-fi novel.
Even better if we're finished with the third edition.
Yeah. Scott, anything else you want to plug?
No, I think that's it for right now. I need to put some publish on my other two books, but thanks for trying it out.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody, and we will catch you next time on the Two Mullets and My Microphone podcast.